Hello everybody, TheChrisDex here, and E3, every gamer's favorite time of year. It's like a second Christmas, if Todd Howard was Santa Claus and instead of coal, he gave you Fallout 76. Every year, gamers get excited to see when new games or consoles are released. We're approaching the end of E3 2019, but a couple years ago, approximately a decade, it was E3 2009. And if you know first grade math, then you should be able to know that.
2009, the year where Obama was inaugurated, Rio was chosen to host the 2016 Olympics, and Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince on the DS was released. Yeah, and it was time for Nintendo to do E3 all over again after the disaster that was 2008. Nintendo thought it would be fun if they let Not Reggie on stage and talk about Wii music for 30 minutes, every child's worst nightmare. Needless to say, Nintendo would have to step on stage and make people completely forget about last year. They'd have to do something amazing, something huge, never seen before, style savvy for the DS. The internet wasn't really as big back then, so they really didn't have to worry about anything leaking or information getting out.
Leaks from E3 are like if guys from Reddit busted into your house 2 days before Christmas and showed you your parents' receipts. And just like E3 leaks, I stole that from Twitter. Good job, me.
So with that being said, let's take a look at what Nintendo E3 2009 looked like. Okay, so the presentation started off by welcoming the host, No. Yeah, Cammy Dunway is back, but at least she didn't take up the entire presentation like she did last time. So it then went to Bill Trinen, who announced Super Mario Bros. Wii. Yeah, and the demonstration was 4 awkward people standing there and playing the game. Sounds just like a YouTube Let's Play. Super Mario Bros. Wii was a decent Mario game, it's just that there were 4 other games just like it. The new Super Mario games weren't as bad as many people say they are. They were just oversaturated. There are more in-depth reviews on YouTube, but I personally thought that this game was alright, but I still prefer the one on the DS. Or was it the one on the Wii U? I don't know, they're all the same. Then after that, they would move on and announced Wii Fit Plus with the Wii Fit board, which will tell anorexic people everywhere that they're obese.
Another round of games that aren't Wii Fit. God damn it.
The Wii Fit board would be Nintendo's attempt at getting into the health market, and they did a good job. They created a fun experience that gets you to move and get healthy. Besides that, all it did was put Wii Fit Trainer in Smash. Wii Sports Resort, also known as Swordplay and a bunch of other games. This was like the Smash Bros. Ultimate of Wii Sports. It did everything right. It had a great soundtrack, flying around the island was really fun, and the game was way better than the original. Then we watched 2 grown men play Wii basketball. Yeah, Wii Sports Resort would be the last Wii Sports game we get. There was one on the Wii U, but we don't talk about that. After that, Reggie talked about some of the games coming to the Wii and DS, such as Final Fantasy Crystal Bears, Red Steel, and Tiger Woods PGA Tour 10. Looks like I have no choice but to buy a Wii. This E3, Nintendo focused on 2 consoles rather than just one like they did this year. They talked about what's coming to the Switch and how the 3DS can go f itself. Games such as Mario & Luigi Bowser's Inside Story was an RPG Mario game that's very beloved by the fans and would gain a new entry every couple of years, so it's fair to say that Nintendo did a good job with this game series. Then we would get a trailer for Golden Sun. Sorry, I'm not laughing at Golden Sun. I'm laughing at the fact that Nintendo once gave a shit about Golden Sun. Yeah, so they announced Golden Sun Dark Dawn, which would be the newest Golden Sun entry and also the last. Yeah, Nintendo just kind of forgot about the series, which I hate to say since it's a very good RPG, and with Isaac being an assist trophy in Smash, maybe there's a chance it'll come to the Switch. Then would come the biggest announcement at the conference, the game that would be one of the biggest successes in Nintendo's history, and one of the most loved Nintendo games of all time. Woman's Murder Club Games of Passion. Yeah, Cammy really can't catch a break, but it's not her fault that Nintendo for some reason really thought their audience would want to play an interactive novel. This is something Nintendo does much better now. They have really gotten to the point where they recognize their audience and know what they want to see at E3. Most of the time. Then they would show games such as Cop the Recruit and Style Savvy, a fashion game on the DSi that people would pick up, play, and then put it back down because it's boring as hell. Some more games for the DS such as Mario vs. Donkey Kong Minis Rise Again, which would be the 3rd Mario vs. Donkey Kong game. And can I just say, when was the last time that anyone cared about one of these games? They were just pushed out so often that people stopped caring. I actually really enjoy some of these games. They're really fun puzzle games to pick up and play, and they're cheap. But they just lost their magic and now they've been reduced to an amiibo game on the Wii U, and we all know how people feel about games based around amiibos. Then they announced a new WarioWare game and Legend of Zelda Spirit Tracks, the follow-up to the Phantom Hourglass. This is probably one of the bigger announcements at this conference, and that's not necessarily a good thing. Yeah, this was a great Zelda game, but it didn't exactly make the crowd go wild. They still needed something else. It needed something bigger, something that would make any Nintendo fan jump with joy. Satoru Iwata talking about motion controls for 10 minutes straight, hell yeah. Nintendo didn't really make the most of their presentations. They don't exactly do the best when they're live on stage. Hey, but they did announce the Vitality Sensor, which would use the Wii to tell you your vitals. Because that's what I want to know when I'm playing games, whether I'm gonna die from a heart attack from playing too much Eminem's kart racing. The Vitality sensor would go on to become Nintendo's most successful accessory and would sell over 1 mil. It got cancelled almost immediately. But of course, Nintendo did have to redeem themselves, so they announced Super Mario Galaxy 2. Super Mario Galaxy was such a successful game that a sequel was more than likely coming out, and Nintendo delivered.
This game would set the bar for all the Super Mario Galaxies that would follow it. Wait.
Many people don't think Super Mario Galaxy 2 was as good as Super Mario Galaxy, but in my opinion, I thought it was as good as the first one, if not better. After that, Reggie talked about more third-party games coming to the Wii, and then it was time for the closing reveal of the conference. Metroid Other M. And in this game, in my opinion, was one of the best Metroid games. It did have many flaws, but in the end, it provided an amazing Metroid experience. This game would be released in December 2010, but the year after would be a dark one for Metroid fans. And the year after. And the year after that. Yeah, pretty much every year is a dark year for Metroid fans. And with that announcement, E3 2009 for Nintendo would conclude, and while it was nowhere near as bad as 2008, it still wasn't great. Yeah, there were some good games announced, and the script was definitely improved for this year, but it still lacked any self-awareness. They went into this event trying to pander to the casual audience with games like Style Savvy and James Patterson, but I don't think they understood that almost only gamers watch E3. They did make up for it with the announcement of Super Mario Galaxy 2 and Metroid, but the rest was just made up of awkward presentations. If we compare this to Nintendo 10 years later, we get an entire different story. They started doing directs instead of live presentations, and it was probably the right choice. Their presentations are shorter and to the point. They can show more games, and people can watch their products not work in a video rather than on stage. And if you were to ask me what I thought Nintendo E3 is going to look like in another 10 years, then I would tell you... dead. Nintendo doesn't exist anymore. It's just Todd Howard announcing that Fallout 76 is getting an update after 10 years. And it's just Fallout Battle Royale 2. But it looks like we still have a lot of time until we get there, and for now, the future of Nintendo E3 is looking very bright. Oh, and if next E3 they announce that Metroid Prime 4 is getting delayed again, I'm selling my Switch for a nickel at GameStop.
Over the years, E3 has changed massively. It's gotten a bigger audience, more games, more companies. So I have decided to buy my own ticket to next year's E3, and the only requirement is buy a copy of Wii Fit Plus. Well, it looks like I'm not going.